Hey guys, alright, so I'm back. We had some technical difficulties and I wanted to make sure that we were getting the correct information out. So I have Florida Maquis on phone call, I guess you would say, to ensure that we are saying the exact right information. Okay, so again, I want to definitely thank the father of Xavier, one of the sailors that passed away in the USS Fitzgerald incident, and just say that how brave both of them are for serving our country. And, yeah, I might need to get him a little closer. All right. So, all right. So we're gonna go into the details again, right?
Yeah. Um, a couple of weeks ago, the father of Xavier Martin, one of the sailors that perished in berthing 2 aboard the USS Fitzgerald, contacted the channel.
Hold on. I don't think you're turned all the way up. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Are we set?
Yep.
Okay. 2 weeks ago, the father of Xavier Martin, one of the sailors who perished aboard the Fitzgerald, down in berthing 2, contacted the channel, agreeing with the channel's assertions that something was very, very, very wrong about the story from the Navy. I didn't bring up the story then because we were dealing with a lot of people coming to the channel and attacking me for political beliefs, and I didn't want to subject the father to any flack because of me. But
Right.
he contacted us again 2 days ago, and we are going to go ahead and acknowledge that he's here, and we are going to thank him and his son for their service. His son was an absolute hero, but there's some information that we had covered a long time ago, within the first week or 2 after, that was pertinent to Mr. Martin and his son. The initial story from the Navy was that the collision happened at 0220 hours. Mr. Martin received a missed phone call from his son that was time-stamped 0256 hours. I've done a video today, and it's up on my channel where I let them speak about this. He was talking with Brooke Baldwin. At that time, he was under the assumption that his son was still alive below decks, 36 minutes below, and just in the last moments of his life.
Right.
Well, now the Navy's revised the time back to 0130, and has also put out in the reports that the entire area below decks was flooded within minutes. Either the Navy is lying right through their teeth, or we have a problem, folks, because the man has kept the text. He has proof that somebody had his son's phone and used the WhatsApp to call him, which is a Wi-Fi based application, aboard that ship, which wouldn't have been possible even from above decks. There would have been no Wi-Fi. So go ahead, John.
Okay, so right here we have the preliminary report, and it distinctively shows that it was flooded within 2 minutes. Okay? So the father went on CNN, and then the time was changed from, 5 days after, from the initial time of 2:20 to 1:30, and that makes it to where either way, either time frame that they have, that the father getting a phone call at 2:56 is not possible in with what they're saying. Okay, and so the question is, why would the father be lying? He's a grieving father. That would just not make any kind of logical sense. We have the exact timeline of the preliminaries and what happened and what went on during the event.
Where the Navy states that everything flooded within 2 minutes is literally page 2, very top of the preliminary report.
Yes, that's what I just showed.
No one possibly could have been alive. I think what you had showed before was enclosure 2.
No, I showed the 2 minutes at mark 5.
All right. Also in the preliminary report, and I'll throw a link on my video as well to this report, they have a timeline where they show clearly that there would have been absolutely no way at 0256 hours anyone missing could have been alive below deck. It says 0140 aux 1 was completely, aux 1 and berthing 2 was completely flooded. So that's where he was reported to have been found by the divers.
Exactly. And so how could someone that's the berthing was flooded, aux 1 was flooded, how did he get a phone call out at 2:56? Another question is, why was NSA, somebody that is with the NSA, on board a naval vessel? I'm not going to make any conjecture. That's just a question that I find interesting.
Naval NSA actually approached this man's son while he was still in high school and recruited him.
And why would that be?
Right, and now we have this story from the Navy where when they initially spoke of this event, they didn't have any command of the facts. And now we have an independent person, a father of one of the sailors, who has come forward, had a great deal of courage to the channel and said, we are going to stand with you together to get justice for the sailors. This is no longer in the arena of conspiracy now. This is in the arena of truth, because we have someone who is directly involved, speaking out.
Exactly. And I'm wondering if the other parents are feeling the same thing, and maybe they're just afraid to come out. Because as a parent, I definitely would be. Maybe I would be afraid that I would be turned down by media, or because like how your channel has been, attacked by people and things like that. Maybe they're afraid. They want answers, and who wouldn't want answers? As a parent, losing a child, you're proud of them for serving, and if everything panned out and they passed away, we know what we sign up for, okay? We know that it's a possibility at every moment of our time in. But why the inconsistencies? Just, like I said earlier, if it was for national security, they could clear-cut say that. But why put all of this information out that does not add up?
We, initially, when all of this came out, in the early days of the investigation, we were all kind of holding our breath for any new information, but there was a lot of conjecture about the course of the Fitzgerald, the timing, what they were doing there. North Korea was launching a lot of missiles at the time. And so when the Navy came out and put out this 2:20 time in their press conference, no one really questioned it. And especially when the father said that 0256, it kind of almost could have maybe made some rational sense that the flooding wasn't as bad as we now know it was. But now that they're saying it's 0130, and that the application that was used is Wi-Fi based only, there's no reason. The father is also a Navy sailor veteran himself.
Exactly. He served his 20 years. Yes.
Exactly. Would not have come forward and just cooked up some story, just having lost his son. There's no way this man is lying.
Absolutely not.
And there's also no way he's mistaken, because if this man was a sailor, he would have easily known how to convert times if there was some issue with converting local time in Japan to time in Maryland.
Exactly. And also, if there's any questions about that, we have looked through that and looked at how the WhatsApp, it works just the same way as a messenger app. You would have local time, your time. So there's no question on that.
He seems, and I have almost the entire interview in my last video, but you can also find it on, I know a lot of people don't like to go to CNN, but in this particular case, I don't think there's any issue here, because the man is speaking from his heart. And he's speaking from, what he's feeling at the time, and you can see it. He almost breaks down 3 or 4 times.
Exactly. He was very distraught. I mean, he was a single father raising his son, and they express, even the friends of Xavier expressed that his dad was his best friend. And the dad says the same thing. They had matching tattoos and everything, and they were best friends. So this is hard on him. This isn't something that if he wanted just like media attention or something like that, he would have been on a lot more, would have been doing a lot more, but he just wants justice for his son as well as the other sailors on board.
The matching tattoos
Uh-huh.
is absolutely something that I find an amazing coincidence. The matching tattoos that they had done
Uh-huh.
were with the slogan, and the slogan was, "We will figure it out."
That just gave me chills.
Yeah, and these guys had these tattoos done long before this event, and we will figure this out.
That's
and
really...
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, because that's something that his father used to tell him when they would have problems as a kid, or if there was some kind of logistical issue.
Yeah.
That, don't worry, we will figure it out. And so they got these matching tattoos. And now we are here trying to figure this out.
And we need to. I mean, it's just, it wasn't, I don't know. Being a sailor and a mother, it doesn't make sense.
If you're within the sound of our voice on this, share it.
Yes,
share
please.
It with your friends. Tell them to share it. Get this out. I thought about creating different hashtags, Justice for the Sailors, or hashtag We Will Figure It Out.
I've been using Justice for Sailors. Yeah, Justice for Sailors. But yes, definitely. I mean, because honestly, if you're in the military right now, if your kids are in the military right now, I would hope that you would want justice, because, or just an explanation that is real, because this could happen again, and there's no blame on political reasons. Please do not make this political, because that is not what this is about. There's many things that are just not adding up. I know a lot of people are focused on so many other things that are not affecting people's actual lives at this moment. Release the memo and whatnot, okay? These were 17 sailors that are no longer with us, that we have no real answers that make any sense. And yes, there are other situations from other, but right now we're focusing on this.
There was something that I had been hesitant to mention.
What's that?
And it was I've been in contact with people close to the sailors aboard both the Fitzgerald and the McCain.
Right.
And I've tried to keep these people out of the spotlight and just focus on the information at hand, hoping it would stand on its own.
Right.
But a young lady close to a family who lost a sailor aboard the McCain was told by the Navy to disregard the information in the autopsies.
What?
I know. I thought about releasing this, and
on. Did y'all just hear what he just said? He said that the family of the sailors on the McCain were told to disregard the autopsy reports. What?
Yeah. It's something that I just had to sit there and had my jaw drop open when I heard it. And this is right from a young lady. She comments on our videos all the time, and I will leave it to her to identify herself. Out there, I'm not going to put her on blast.
Yes. I agree. I don't want to put her name out there until she's ready.
Yeah. There's something very, very, very strange going on. And the one final strange coincidence, this phone call that this father got from his son at 2:56. Jen had alluded to it in her last video, and it's very, very relevant. In one of our videos, we had talked about these transponders. When the ACX crystal switched its transponder signal from the Class B paradigm to the Class A paradigm was exactly the time that the father of Xavier Martin received this phone call.
Why would anybody switch transponders?
Something was going on aboard the ACX crystal, and nobody's talked about it, and the Navy hasn't even bothered investigating it.
I've never heard of anybody ever switching transponders like that. I guess we'll go into detail more on that later. Or
yeah. We're going to keep on this, and we're going to, and we're also going to leave it to Mr. Martin to set the pace and set the tone for what he wants to reveal and his level of actual life involvement in the channel. That would be up to him. So God bless him. God bless all those sailors. We're going to keep going though.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming on. Sometimes, y'all know that I get sidetracked sometimes, so, especially being a mother and, you know, a Navy veteran, it's more emotional, and I think more with my emotions, and so, he's definitely helped me to make it logic, like, to where it's not so emotional. I mean, it's emotional, but, to where we can make sure that you understand the gravity of what actually happened or didn't happen. And everyone needs to know about this. This isn't something that should be just dismissed at all. So
yes, absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to cover this and stand with the channel, Jack.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I really, honestly, and I really didn't even want to say this, but I feel that I have to. Because as a Navy veteran, I've contacted many of my former shipmates, and none of them even want to touch it. They want to just say accidents happen. Yeah, accidents do happen. I was aboard the USNS Yukon. An accident did happen. They ran into the Denver. Everybody knew exactly what happened. There was no questionable. They were allowed to be interviewed. They were allowed to be taught, and just so accidents do happen, but they aren't timeline messed up, and I'll just leave
Nobody's made it in real accidents. They don't have non-disclosure agreements.
Oh, I don't think we've mentioned that. All of these sailors had to sign non-disclosure agreements. That didn't happen in the USS Cole. That did not happen on the USNS Yukon or the Denver. Or on any other, what was the other two ships that, either way, none of them had to.
In fact, there's been documentaries done on the USS Cole.
Yes, exactly.
And we are what? We're 8 months out now, and we haven't heard, other than at this channel, from one word from any sailor, anybody aboard. When the USS Porter had its collision, there were all sorts of interviews with local TV stations,
Yep.
command people, enlisted people, saying, yeah, we had an accident, we screwed up, and it caused this amount of damage. We learned a lot from it, and that's how accidents are covered. What's going on with the Fitzgerald, with the Kane? Absolutely, a completely different thing.
Very. And we need to seek justice for and the biggest thing, well, it's not the biggest, but right at this moment, the captains are being, investigated for homicide. When, if none of this actually adds up, how could, if it was just an accident, why would it be homicide? And
how does a crew that is supposedly poorly trained,
right,
unmotivated, and tired go in a matter of seconds? And you look in the Navy reports, don't take my word for it or Jen's word for it, go to the Navy reports, and they describe them as heroic and performing as expected. Exactly. Months prior, they described these crews as rock stars, as the best in the fleet. How can they then put out reports saying that it was a fleet-wide training malaise and fatigue issue?
There's no way you can have it both ways. You can't say that these sailors were just negligent or not trained and just not doing their job, but yet in the actual report saying how heroic they are, which I agree with that part. I agree 100% that they were heroic. But all of the things that have come out is, well, they were sleep deprived, they were this, they were that. You can't have it both ways.
Here's a question, too, that I think we're going to have to ask, and this is going to be a hard question. If this sailor, Xavier Martin, made a phone call to his dad at 0256, what was he trying to communicate to his father?
And I have my theories, but should I...
What was so important that in the middle of that event, where there was a ship that had been collided with and damaged, he would have had general quarters duties, he would have had all sorts of things that would have been more important than him talking to his dad. What was he trying to get out? What piece of information was he trying to get off of that ship before they clamped the communication lock on everybody?
Should we stick to the facts, or can I say my theory?
Go with your theory.
My theory is that they were aborted. And if you don't...
The channel actually made that assertion in quite a few videos ago, and it's looking like you might be right here.
Here's the thing. When I was on the USNS Yukon, I was part of the VBSS team, which is the vessel boarding ship security team. And we would do drills, and the Navy SEALs and the Marines would do practice runs, to train us and to train for themselves if they ever had to do this, to board ships and how things would go down and things like that. And that is everything from what all of the investigations, besides all the other so many things, it lines up very, very well, which is scary. I feel that they were boarded by who, I'm not going to even say because I have no idea. But I feel that they were boarded by, let's say, pirates. Let's just go with pirates at this moment, because I'm not going to say any...
How about parties unknown?
Parties unknown, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, especially with the transponder situation, and should I say about the course change, how the courses don't line up?
Which particular courses?
Is that, let's just stick it at this, okay? I feel that they were boarded, because if in fact he called his father at 0256, was he concerned for his life at that moment? Was he being... Go ahead.
That's an excellent point. That's exactly what I was going for. The only way this man, at that time, would have thought an appropriate course of action would have been to call home was going to be his last day.
Because he felt he was being held hostage.
Right, and for him, or if he was, let's say he was below decks and it was flooding and it was apparent that he wasn't going to get out, the timing would have been completely different than what the Navy's telling us.
Exactly. And in a time of flooding, you know, you're worried about damage control. Ship is the #1 mission. Yes, life, is not in the Navy. It's not. It is, the ship is the mission. But in a, you know, if they were boarded and the crew knew about it and he was somehow hiding in a space somewhere and got a phone call out saying that this is what happened, but he wasn't, it was a missed call, so we don't know. But
right.
At that time frame, from what the Navy is saying in this report, that Berthing 2 and Ox 1 were flooded way before, an hour and 26 minutes. He would have been dead. Nobody makes phone calls dead. Okay? So
or gets on Wi-Fi.
Or yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about, I think it's very important to understand that even, let's say that somebody even got a hold of the sailor's phone above decks and was attempting to call his dad, for what reason, I have no idea.
Exactly.
There would have been no way they could have done that anyway, because they had lost power, they had lost all communications.
Per the report. They had lost all communications.
Right, no conspiracy or conjecture here. We're using the Navy's words and putting that up against the word of a father, a former serviceman himself. What are they covering up? What happened last summer?
And for those that are new to my channel, I served on 2 DDGs also. So I was on the Hopper and the O'Kane. And so I know very well of how the ship is laid out. I just wanted to add that in case if you've never watched my channel before.
Well, the word is out, and we are going to continue down this road. If you want to help, if you really want to be a part of this investigation, you want to stand up for truth, stand up for justice, and for these sailors, we can use social media to do what it was meant to do. Communicate, like, share, subscribe to Jen, subscribe to my channel. I have over 100 videos. If there's any angle of this investigation that you want to find, you'll find it at the Florida Maquis. And that's not just as a result of me, it's a result of my contributors.
Right.
We have people from all aspects of the Navy, intelligence, operations, command and control, that are all here standing saying this is not right.
And we aren't putting out names. So if you don't want to be, if you are part, like if you have information, you can come to us and we're not going to release your name. That is not what we're here for. Okay? It's, if you want to have a voice and use us as your voice, we will gladly do that without releasing anything regarding who you are.
Well, thank you, Jen.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. I will see y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful day.